supervillains may feel like pure fiction, something found only in comic books or movies. But real-life supervillains have existed for centuries. Welcome to the story of Adam Worth, the notorious criminal known as the Napoleon of crime, a real-life supervillain. Born in Germany in 1844, Worth immigrated to the United States with his family as a child and eventually settled in Boston. What followed was a life of crime, deception, and daring escapes from the law. When Worth was only 17, he enlisted to fight in the American Civil War. He lied about his age and joined the Union Army. He eventually found himself wounded in battle and was transported to a hospital only to find out he had been falsely declared killed in action. But in true supervillain fashion, Adam Worth rose from the dead and began his life of crime. Worth began his criminal career as a pickpocket and street thief. He founded his own gang of lawless robbers, which he utilized as he moved on to more sophisticated crimes, such as bank robberies and jewel heists. He was a master of disguise and could blend in with any crowd. His first arrest came in 1866 for stealing a package from a post office in New York City. However, he managed to escape from custody before he could be brought to trial. This became a theme for Worth, as he became famous for his ability to escape from the law. In one daring escape, he was being transported from one prison to another when he asked to stop at a store to buy some tobacco. While inside the store, he managed to slip away from his guards and disappeared into the crowd. In another escape, he feigned illness and convinced the prison doctor to let him stay in a private room. He then climbed out the window and escaped. You would think eventually authorities would learn to keep a closer eye on him, but Adam was very cunning and would actively avoid revealing his identity when caught. This helped him avoid intense guard supervision. Every supervillain needs a sidekick, and Worth was no different. He found himself partnered early with the prominent crime organizer Friedrich Mandelbaum. Using his talent for escaping the law, Worth and Mandelbaum dug tunnels under the White Plains jail to break out their associate, a notorious safecracker, Charlie Bullard. Worth eventually fled to Europe, where he continued his criminal activities. He used various aliases and disguises to evade capture and became known as the Napoleon of crime for his strategic planning and clever schemes. Worth's most notable crime was the theft of the painting Gainsborough's Duchess from the Agnews Gallery in London in 1876. The painting was worth over $200,000 and was one of the most valuable paintings in the world. But Worth wasn't interested in the money, he simply liked the painting, and probably had reached a point where he simply enjoyed the chaos. Worth and his accomplices carefully planned the heist for months, studying the gallery's security measures and practicing their escape routes. They eventually made off with the painting and fled to America. Worth kept the painting and made his way down to South Africa, where he stole $500,000 in uncut diamonds, later traveling back to London where he sold them for a discounted price. Worth had become a global villain, traveling around the world, outsmarting authorities and committing crimes. This came to a brief end when Worth was eventually caught again and sentenced to life in prison for another robbery in Belgium. However, you can never really stop a supervillain, and sure enough he was released for good behavior and returned to the United States. But not before stealing $4,000 worth of jewelry from a shop in London. He lived out the rest of his life in obscurity, dying in 1902, or maybe that's just what he wants us to believe. Regardless, there's no denying that Adam Worth was a mastermind of the criminal world and a true legend in his own right. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more interesting stories.